what has been happening in the market. You understand? I'm going to be streaming or showing you my own chart and everything. We'll look at it fundamentally and technically. But first thing first, let's look at what has happened in the market technically. Or fundamentally, please. Let's start fundamentally first. So I'm going to display my system now, so we'll be able to see that. Okay. So let me share my screen so you'll be able to see it. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. So yes, I'm now on that part. So we'll be able to see what has been happening. You understand? Able to see what has been happening in the market. Okay. All right. So fundamentally now, looking at this market now, looking at it, interestingly, you know, this week has been one of a kind. This week has actually been one of a kind. We had President Donald Trump imputing a 50% tariff on the European Union. That was last week, Friday or so. He did that. Then by Monday morning, we got the information that he said it has been suspended till July 9. You understand? It's been suspended till July 9. And day before yesterday or so, yes, we also got another news by 12 a.m. or let's say yesterday, midnight, 12 a.m. Yeah, got the information that the Fed called, gave an order saying that President Donald Trump does not have the strength or the power to be imposing tariffs on the global economy of countries like that. That he does not have that power to do that. He's not strong enough to do that and everything. And you see, for everything that is being said or done, there's always a reaction for it. And all that has been batting different reactions. You see the market buying or selling massively. It's been one of a kind. This week has actually been one of a kind. Very, very interesting week. So today, by Friday, today, which is Friday, around 12:30 a.m., we had news coming out on JPY, Tokyo Core CPI year to year, and it came out positive for JPY. Interestingly, it actually moved the currencies, you understand, on most especially on GBP JPY. I've been on that trade now since yesterday, you understand, and it's been on, you understand, it's been on. So when that news came, it also moved the market in my direction again. We'll see that. Then we have AUD retail sales month to month came out negative for the Australian dollar. Then we are also having news coming out on euros. That's a German prelim CPI month to month, but it's all day. So we do not know when exactly that news is going to be released, but yes, it's going to be released. Then 8 a.m. this morning, we have the Spanish flash CPI year to year, and it came out negative too. So if you look at an instrument like Euro USD, you also see response in that line, you understand? So by 1:30, we're expecting news on Canadian dollar, but that's GDP month to month. Then the USD core PCE price index month to month. Then by 3 p.m., we're having the revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment. You understand? So these are the news we are having for today. But one way or the other, the interesting thing is the fundamentals has actually been pushing this market in its own way. But now we're going to be looking at the market technically. Now, please, I want us to have this at the back of our mind. One of the things that's actually been moving this market in recent weeks now has actually been news. You understand? I'm not saying technically it's not moving to, technically it's moving. You understand? But please, the technicals too, in fact, for those that really want to make profit, mainly, I would advise you go on technicals. You do your technicals very well, you're sure of your directions, you will make it deep. The news is just for a short price. So mainly, let's look at it. That's why because now the next thing we're going to be doing is technical. So I want us to look at the chart technically deeply. And hopefully we'll be seeing something interesting there. So yes, this is the news for today. Now we'll move into the real deal, which is technicals. And we just hold on, I'll share my screen now. So we'll see it. Okay. On this chart now. All right. So yes, this is my screen. I remember I told us I'm on this instrument, GBP JPY, and we're actually seeing what is there. Okay, so let's start with Euro USD. Start with Euro USD. You understand? Let's start with Euro USD as of now. So on Euro USD, what are we seeing here? Euro USD. You can see what price is doing currently on Euro USD. As of this morning, price, looking at what, this is on my 1 hour time frame, price actually pushed up to this point. And that's a supply zone. Pushed up to this point, that's a supply zone. And you discover that price has respected that point and is now what? Is now dropping. Price is dropping. And if you look at it, based on what we are even seeing yesterday and today, it actually did, I'm coming, let me drag it so we see it clearly. As far as I'm not wrong. Yes, it did double, in fact, will I call it a double top or triple top? And you can see that it's now expecting that price and it's dropping. And basically what I'm saying here now, because it is also close to a zone here, I'll just advise you, wait for it to break below particulars. Then you can go for your bearish move. I'm expecting it to cover all the way down to this point. I'm expecting it to get down to up to this point. So we could hold on for price. Okay, so let me shade that part out for us to see. Let's see it. Let me put that part out for us to be able to see. Okay. Okay, so from this point, I'm expecting price to get down even to this point. You understand? So we can just wait for price to break below this particular session, then you go for the sale. Now, you see, interestingly, the market is moving based on the that came out on news. It came out negative for euros this morning by 8 a.m. And we can see that, yes, price is actually respecting what it's saying. You understand? I'm expecting a bearish move on Euro USD. You understand? I'm expecting a bearish move on Euro USD. It's still going to push down. You understand? So that's that for that. Euro USD, my take is bearish. I expect the price to move down. I expect a bearish move. And if you look at it, even on 4 hours too, I'm still expecting it to come down. You see, just from what we are seeing, even where I marked out for us, you discover that on 4 hours, it's even in zone, it's showing. So I'm expecting price to get to that point. You understand? So for Euro USD, my take is bearish move. I'm expecting a bearish move. Looking at it on the time frame, it's also giving us the bearish signal. Everything we're seeing there is bearish on Euro USD. So yes, go for your bearish move. But this is it. Make sure you spot that opportunity first before you go for it. You know, one of the things about technical is entering at the right time. Once you see that opportunity, take it. If you miss the opportunity at that particular section, don't rush. Wait for another opportunity to show. Because if you rush in, you will rush out. So the main thing about technicals is this, waiting. Just like we all know, we tell you even in class, for those that have had the opportunity of coming to class or wherever you are, you must have heard some of my colleagues saying that waiting is a strategy. So you must learn how to wait when it comes to trading technically. All right, so Euro USD, we are done with that. Let's move to GBP USD. GBP USD is the next instrument I'm looking at now. So GBP USD, I'm on it. And we can see that, yes, price is also dropping on GBP USD too. Funny enough, GBP is losing strength too, so I'm expecting it to drop too. You understand? So, but currently, based on what we are seeing here, where price is now is a demand zone. This is a demand zone for price. So we should wait for price to break below this point. If it's able to break below this point successfully, you understand, we can go for that bearish move. But until that, we wait. You understand? Until that, we wait. And if we look at it based on what we're seeing on the time frame, 1 hour time frame, we'll discover that it's also giving us a downward trend. Basically, what we're seeing, you're seeing a downward trend. It's giving us that downward trend. Let's see. I can pull it from this point. Basically, from this point, this was what it did here. You understand? Did this around this point. And it broke here. Now, it's still, if you look at the fixed points we are seeing here now, around this point, you see that price is also expecting it and it's coming down, it's picking that point. So yes, am I expecting it to go down? Sure, I'm expecting it to go down. It should sell. That's my take. So on GBP USD, I'm expecting a bearish move. I'm expecting a bearish move on GBP USD. That's my take on GBP USD, a bearish move. I'm expecting that bearish move on GBP USD. You understand? Okay, so with that, all right, what next? Let's hold on for price to break below this point, and if it gets here, we could also have a reversal. But if it's able to break below this particular section too, if it's able to break below this particular section, understand? Maybe for any reason it breaks below this point, then we should expect that yes, it's going to sell further. So these are some 2 points that we can look out for. Once it breaks below this point, we can go for that sell. But if it goes further and breaks below here too, we should expect price to drop. You understand? So it should drop as far as this point. Okay, that's that for that. What next? Okay, so let's try and see. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next. Instrument we'll be looking at is, let's look at USD JPY. Let's look at USD JPY. Let's look at USD JPY. Yes. I'll go for USD JPY. Let's see what USD JPY is doing. Yes, let's look at USD JPY. Okay, so USD JPY, we can see it as of this morning, price got to this particular zone. This is a demand zone here. The demand zone here. And it has respected that point. Price is also getting back up. And I'm expecting it, price will have issues around this point too, because there's a zone here. You understand? There's also a zone here. So price could have issues around this section here, around this point. So what I will expect us to do is to hold on. I'm still going to vie for price to drop on USD, because generally USD is actually it's not really strong. Just part of the reason why it's been more or less like it's going up and down USD is based on the news that's been happening from President Trump and even the federal court in US, you understand? But I still believe that it's still going to drop on USD JPY. So we're expecting the price to drop on USD JPY. Let's hold on for price to break below this particular section. You understand? At the same time, price might not break below, it might decide to continue that bullish move. You understand? And if price is moving in that path, we should also hold on for price to break above this zone. You understand? So if he's able to close above these 2 points that's been shaded out for us, you understand? If he's able to close above this point, we go for that bullish move. If he comes back and closes below this point, then we should expect a bearish move on USD JPY. So that's that on USD JPY. Then we have another instrument here, AUD USD. Let's look at AUD USD. Let's look at AUD USD. AUD USD. So on AUD USD, looking at it, interestingly, from what we are seeing for a very long time now on 1 hour time frame, can you see the way it's been coming down that point? To pull back to that same point. That point has proved to be a strong zone. On several locations, price has gotten there and it's been what? Rejected. So what are now? Very simple. If price is able to break below this part successfully, if price is able to break below this part successfully, we should expect a bullish move. If price is able to break below this particular section successfully, we should expect a bullish move. Should expect a bullish move. But I will also give my own candid advice. Whenever price breaks below a particular zone, if it breaks below a particular zone, what you need to do is to wait, because there could be a retest. But if there's no retest, the next candle that is forming must be a strong bearish or bullish candle, depending on the zone it is breaking, you understand? So yes, if it breaks this below this zone, I'm expecting a bearish move on AUD. But if it's unable to break below that zone, then we should expect price going back to the upside. Yes, if it's unable to break below this point, we should expect price moving back to the upside based on what we are saying. But once it's able to break below that point, then fine. We're seeing price moving to the upside. That's the way it's going to be. Okay, that's that for AUD USD. That's that for AUD USD. Let's look at USD CAD. USD CAD. Yes, let's look at USD CAD. USD CAD. And if you look at USD CAD now, we discover that price is actually at a particular section. In fact, it's moving between these 2 points. This is point 1 and this is point 2. It's just between these 2 points. Price is actually moving between these 2 points. That's just what price is doing. So now what we're seeing is more of internal support and resistance. It's more of internal support and resistance. And in situations like these, I advise us to be very technical about it or smart about it. How? Even if you're going to trade, whenever you're having the issue of internal support and resistance, it's more or less like price is just moving between 2 points. Our advice will hold on for price to get to those points first. Like if price is able to get to this point and does not break it, we're expecting it to drop back down to this point. And likewise, the same thing. Price comes to this particular zone and is unable to break and it rests here. You understand? We should expect a reversal back. But one thing is for sure. If it breaks any of the zone, that direction is where it's going to move. Now, if you look at it based on what we're seeing on 4 hours time frame, we discover that price actually has been trying to push up on USD CAD. You understand? Based on what we're seeing, we are saying that price is trying to push up on USD CAD. You understand? That's what I'm seeing on the 4-hour time frame. And on daily time frame, we've seen it for a while. It's just more of lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So it's just a pullback and everything. So fine, we should still expect. I'm still expecting a bearish move on USD CAD too. I'm still expecting a bearish move. That's on the long term. But based on what we're seeing here, they're trying to push up. So it's just a minor pullback. Then after that, we could have a continuation on that same move. You understand? So that's that on USD CAD. Okay, so let's look at USD CHF. Let's look at USD CHF. So USD CHF. Okay. We can see price got to demand zone and now rejected. It's between 2 zones here now. What we're seeing is between these 2 zones. So it's got into a supply zone too, and it's having issues there. But if price is able to break above this part, successfully, then we could have that bullish move. In fact, let's even look at, let's check the currency strength meter and see the strength of our currencies this morning. I think we've not done that. So let me see. Let's check and see before we continue. So on the currency strength meter, wow. Now, this is it. Currently, the weakest of all the instruments is AUD. CAD is gaining strength, and that's why you're seeing the green arrow on it. CHF is gaining strength too. You're seeing the green arrow. Euros is also gaining strength. GBP is gaining strength. You see, NZ is not, it's just there. So NZD and AUD. And I believe the only reason why you're seeing that the two, there's no signal of whether it's gaining or losing strength, you understand, on the two is because they are more or less like almost in the same region. And you discover that whenever there's anything affecting NZD, it also affects AUD too. They are all they are in the same region anyway. New Zealand, Australia, you understand? They are in the same region. So all their stuff, it affects them like that. Then USD is actually the strongest as of now. It's filled up with the green arrow. I'm saying it's the strongest because we're seeing the indication that yes, it's still growing in strength. JPY is full. It's still strong too. Strong. GBP is the one gaining strength this morning, and that's why you're seeing it like that. It has that green arrow on it, but I just feel it's just for a while. It's still going to, I still feel it's still going to drop. You understand? It's still going to drop. For the USD too, that I'm also seeing it and being strong like this, I would say it's more of just the whole trade war game and everything that is going on. You understand? The government and their politics and everything in the market. That's just what is affecting the whole thing that is making the strength to come back one way or the other and the likes. Okay, so that's that. We've seen the current situation of the currency meter, you understand? So it's part of the reasons why we're seeing some certain reactions on the chart like that. Okay, so let's go back to our technical chart. Let's see what is happening. Okay, so that's that for this. So Euro CHF, USD CHF, I mean, I'm expecting price to break above this point, and if price is able to break above this point, then we should expect that bullish move. Okay, so that's that on USD CHF. All right, so let's see which other instrument am I going to look at. Let's look at okay. Let's look at now we should look at commodities. Let's go to commodities. Yes, I feel we should go to commodities. We've done a lot of currencies. Let's do commodities. Now, once we're done with commodities, we'll come back to other ones too. indices, then you now have the opportunity of selecting whichever instrument we want us to look at, let's analyze and the likes, okay? So commodities, we start with gold. We start with gold, okay? So I'm on gold now, and basically we discovered that gold has actually pushed up. And funny enough, gold has respected the zones it's in around this point. These are zones here, you understand? Got to this particular zone, respected it, and it's now pushing back and got into a demand zone too, and it's respecting it. See, basically for me, I'm more of the buy sentiment on gold. When it comes to trading gold, I'm more of buy sentiment. I have the sentiment for buy. I prefer to go for buy when it comes to gold. Anything that has to do with gold, I prefer sticking with buy. So I expect it to what to buy on gold. I expect the market to buy on gold. So I'll just say we should look out for the buy opportunity. You understand? Looking out for the buy opportunity. That's what I would say we should look out for. But I expect the market price to still push up on gold, because gold is more of a buying instrument than a selling instrument. So if you see the sell, based on how I trade it, once I see the opportunity for sale, I might not, I don't, most of the time, I don't bother myself about it. I don't push for it, but I look out for the buy opportunities. Once I see the buy opportunity, I take it. So I'll just advise we look out for the buy opportunities. If you're able to see the buy opportunity, then what? Take it. That's my own on that. I'll put my own, that's my own buy on gold anyway. So that's that on that. Let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. Okay. So on oil, as of this morning, based on what I'm seeing on oil, okay. Okay. This is on 1 hour. I'm coming. Let's see it on 4 hours. Let's see what it's saying on 4 hours. Wow. I will expect the price of oil to push up. Based on what I'm saying, I will expect the price of oil to push up a little. We could still have the price too. Yes. But I'm expecting to just push up a little. After that, we could have a bearish move. Because yes, price has actually filled back all this point, moving up, came back down to fill this point. So let me zoom it out. So we discover that this point has been a zone for a while. Whenever price gets to this point, it's been respecting that zone. You understand? So price is now currently trying to push up, but the push is just for a short while. I'm still expecting price to drop. But all the same, even if we want to go for that bullish move on oil, I decide I want to go for that bullish move on oil. So this is on my 30 minutes time frame. So we could see clearly the zones. You understand? That's why I came down to this point. You want to go for that bullish move, you can hold on for it to break above this part. If it's able to break above this section successfully, we could go for that bullish move on oil. But once that does not happen, please hold on. Price might decide to reverse back. And if it's reversing back, you wait for it to break below this particular section. If it's able to break below this section on oil, then you're going to be having a strong bearish move. But once it breaks above this part, we could have that bullish move going up. You understand? And yes, if it's going up, it's going to go up for a long time. You understand? It's going to go up for a long time to fill some of these zones and everything again, all these long candles and everything. You see it that way. Okay? So yes, for oil, I'm expecting price to push up a little. That's my own bias on that anyway. So let's move to another one. Let's move to another commodity instrument. Let's move to another commodity instrument. Let's look at wheat. It's been a while I talked about wheat. So let's look at wheat. Let's look at wheat. Let's see what wheat is saying this morning. Let's look at what wheat is saying this morning. Hey, I'm with us. Now, this is wheat. And based on what we're seeing as of this moment, price of wheat is pushing up. I can't tell us to go for any instant trade now. So even if you want to go for a buy, if you want to go for a bullish move, based on what we're saying, we should hold on for price to break above this part successfully. If it's able to break above this part successfully, then we can go for that bullish move. It should break above this part first. If it doesn't, please don't do that. Wait for it first. And once it breaks above this part, yeah, it can come up as high as this point, come up to as high as this point, or we could have a price coming back down, coming up to this point, you understand, around this point, you understand? So it's just one of these two. Either it comes up to this point or this point. But one of the things is this: once you're seeing getting close to this point, if you go for the bullish move, if it's getting close to this point, take out your profit, or if it breaks above this point and it's getting close to this point, just close and take out your profit, because yes, at any point, price can still work back down, because if you're looking at it, it's giving us that bearish move. It was around this point that price, that particular structure on wheat, that downward trend, trying to push it up, you understand? So let's hold on and see what is going to happen. Is it going to push up and break above it? If it's able to do that, then fine, we could go for that bullish move on that. So that's that on wheat. That's that on wheat. Okay. Okay. I can see your question. Angel is saying, I bought USD JPY and I'm on negative. Should I hold or exit? All right, let's just analyze USD JPY. Let's look at what USD JPY is saying. Let's look at it. So yes, on USD JPY, based on the trend we are seeing on 1 hour, I would say we're expecting the market to sell. That's my own opinion. I'm giving you my own bias. I will expect the price to sell. So even if it's having a push to the upside, it could just be minor. But looking at what we are seeing on the chart currently now, yes, price could still go up. But even if it's going to go up, it has to break above this part. As far as it does not break above this particular session that has been pointed out, I'm not seeing it going up. But the possibility for the sale is higher based on what I'm saying. Possibility for sale is higher. And if price is going to sell, I'm expecting it to fall down to as low as this particular section that we're seeing here. I'm expecting it to fall to this particular point. So I'll just advise, okay, let's just look at how the market moves. If it's able to break above this point and you see a little profit out of it, just be on the safe side. You know what next to do. You understand? You know what next to do. So I just feel market price is just trying to reign between these points, you understand? And once it's done, it will pick a particular direction it wants to go. But USD JPY, I'm expecting it to drop. That's my own bias. I'm expecting it to drop. But yes, we could have a minor push to the upside, because as of this morning, we can also see that USD is actually strong. You understand? The currency is actually strong as of this morning. Okay, so that's that on USD JPY. Okay. All right, so we're going to look at indices now. Let's look at indices now. Let's look at indices. Look at US 100. Let's look at US 100. So yes. So if you look at it as of day before yesterday, it pushed to the upside. You understand? Then as yesterday midnight, we had the Fed call giving their own orders to, and after they gave their own orders and everything, the market reacted to that, and you discovered that as yesterday came down. From that point, it started coming down, came down throughout yesterday. And as of this morning, price is ranging. And like we all know, a ranging market, when you see a ranging market, we know a ranging market to be a correction zone. So I just feel price is trying to correct itself. Now, between these 2 points, that price has been having issues now, as of now, what I'll just advise is you wait, let it pick a direction. And if it's picking a direction, it's either it breaks above this point to push to the upside, or it breaks below and continues that bearish move. That's the interesting thing about a ranging market. A ranging market will surely pick a direction once it's done. You understand? So it's going to pick a direction, either to the upside or the downside. So whichever direction it follows, that's what you should hammer on. You follow it straight. Do not leave it. You understand? Okay. Let's look at US 30. US 30 is also giving us that same vibe. You can see, in fact, as I yesterday, it dropped even lower to this particular demand zone. You understand? It dropped as low as this point as I yesterday. But then, yeah, dropped to this point, then tried pushing back up a little again. Now it has gotten to that point. It's also ranging. Now, it's giving the same vibes like US 100. It's to break above those zones or be, you understand? That's just the main thing. Either it breaks above this point or breaks below this point. Once that happens, then it will pick a direction. Whatever direction it picks, that's what our advice you follow. That's the interesting thing about ranging market. They will surely pick a zone once they are done. They'll pick a direction. So whichever direction it picks, you follow that direction. That's the main thing on US 30. To all those US 100, US 30, and that. Let's look at US 2000 too. The same. It's giving the same vibes. It's also ranging on US 2000. So what are we doing? Let's wait for it to break above or below any of those zones. Then we strike. Okay. Okay, I can see Arubi Emmanuel saying gold next, please. No, I've done gold, so I'm not looking at gold now. I've done gold before. I'm not looking at gold now until I'm done with indices. Then the opportunity for us to ask ask questions and drop whichever instrument you want us to look at. Then by then I'll get back to gold. Okay, so on indices, let's look at Victor Edojo is saying D40. All right, let's look at D40. Let's look at DE40. Let's look at DE40. Okay, because DE40. Okay, so DE40 is giving us that bullish vibes. It's giving us that bullish move. And actually, part of the things that is affecting DE40, DE40 is a German stock. But let me show us something. Let me show us part of those things. One of those things that is affecting it. I'll go to the fundamental part now so we see it. Let's go to fundamental part. You see, as of this morning on the fundamental part, yes, on the fundamental part, you discover that news actually came out on euros and it came out negative. And in Germany, what currency do they spend? They spend euros. So they react to Euro news too, you understand? And yeah, we are still expecting another German prelim CPI on them too. That also will affect DE40, although we do not know the exact time it's going to come out, but whenever it's believed that you're able to see it, whichever figure or data you are seeing on the actual, either green or red, will determine how that market is going to move, you understand? So yes, it came out negative on euro this morning, and that's why it's part of the reason why you're seeing it. As at 8 o'clock, the news that came out on euros was negative for euros, and that's why you're seeing it that what the price is actually buying. It's buying on DE for now. Interestingly, I'll just advise you because it's getting to a particular supply zone here. So even if you want to go for a buy, hold on for it to break above this particular point successfully. You understand? So it's not going to be like a news that was a move that was influenced by the market and it starts reversing. So now, if it gets to that point and breaks above it, there could be a retracement, a little reversal. Then after that, it could continue in that same line. And yes, DE40, let me, based on my own bias, and based on what I am seeing on the chart, I'm expecting it to buy. In fact, the buy signal or what I'm seeing on candle actually came out yesterday, but from what I'm saying. So I'm expecting that market price to do what? To buy on DE40. My bias on DE40 is a bullish move. You understand? So just look out for the best opportunity for that buy. Then you strike. So it's going to buy. That's my own take. Look out for the buy opportunity. And I've shaded that part for it. If it's able to close above that part successfully, then we expect it to push up. So that's that on DE40. Okay. So now I'm going to be giving us the opportunity to drop some of our instruments that you want me to look at. I can see somebody dropping GBP AUD, and Arubi Felix is also saying go. So we'll look at it. We'll look at it, but let me pick it one after the other. Okay. Okay. Felix A, you say, good morning, sir. I would like to draw your rectangular shape from the start of the zone to the end of the zone. Okay, very simple. Just go to, okay, for you to get that, look, I believe you can see my screen. You could come to insert, and once you come to insert, you come to object, you see it there, the rectangle, if you're using MT5. MT4, you come to insert, scroll down, you see where you're going to see a part where you see shapes. Just click on shapes. You see the rectangle symbol there. You click on it. And once you click on it, it's going to appear there. Now, it now depends on you. Just tap and drag. And once you drag, it's going to show. Just see that I'm doing on the system now. There's nothing hard about that. That's that on that, Mr. Felix. You get it. Okay. So I think we're done with that. Let's now look at the other instruments for us. Let's see what we're looking at. Are we expecting buy, sell? Okay. All right. No problem. Let's move on. Let's push. Let's move on. Let's see what is happening. As of now, all right. So yes, looking at the next one. Okay, so we look at GBP AUD. Then after that, we look out for gold. Let's look at GBP AUD. Then the next one is going to be gold. So I'm with us on that. I'm going to look at that. Okay. GBP AUD. GBP AUD. Okay, so GBP AUD. As of this morning now, currently based on what we're seeing, we know that GBP is actually gaining strength. Okay, waiting for this chart to come up fully, so we'll be able to see it clearly. Still trying to load and everything. I'm still waiting for it to come up fully, please. Okay. Okay. I think what we'll have to do is maybe I'll have to go and come back on it. We'll look at another instrument, then we'll come back on it. I think I'm waiting for it to come up fully. Okay, now it's up. It's up. So GBP AUD is coming up, still coming up. Yes, nice. So we can see that price is actually, it has actually pushed up for a while on GBP AUD this morning. Pushed up this morning on GBP AUD. So GBP is actually strong, and that's why we're seeing price actually pushing as high as this point. It's really, really strong as of this morning. So looking at what we're seeing here now, this particular section is a zone. This point is a zone. And unless price is able to break above this point, I don't expect it's going to go up. But once price is able to break above it, then we could have that bullish move. Continuation of that bullish move. Unless it's able to break above it, that's when we're going to have that. But as far as it does not break above that part, I'm not sure it's going to go anywhere. As far as it does not break above that part, I'm not sure it's going to go anywhere. Okay, so that's that on GBP AUD. You can also see that it has this other move here. Understand? This is another zone, and it's here. So unless it breaks above this price, if it doesn't break above it, it's going to come back down. And you can see that price is actually struggling around that point. Price is struggling around that point this morning. Price is struggling around that point. So unless price is able to break above that point, I'm not sure price is going to go anywhere on that. So that's that on GBP AUD. Yes. Okay. So let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next one on with us. Which is gold. Let's look at gold. Mr. Ruby, we're looking out for gold. You said we should look out for gold. So let's look out for gold for you. Let's see what is happening on gold. So this is gold. And basically, like I told us, gold has got into a zone here, and you can see that it's struggling also around this point. So unless it's able to break below this part, I'm not going for that bearish move. But once it breaks below that part, you understand? Once it's able to break below this part, that's when I'll expect it to what? To sell. But unless that happens, I'm not expecting it to go down. Unless this happens, I'm not expecting it to go down on gold. I'm not expecting price of gold to push to the downside. Just my own bias. I'm not expecting the price of gold to push down unless it breaks below that particular part. So that's for that. That's that. Let's another one. So I'm with us. Okay. Euro card. Okay, let's look at Euro card. Still with us, please. Euro card. Okay, so I'm waiting for it to come up. It's also loading too. Waiting for Euro card to come up. Also loading. All right, I'm still waiting for it. It's still not coming up, and I think we are just having this network. Network is a little bit slow. So we're having the and not be able to analyze it if it's not coming out fully based on what we're seeing now. We're just having a little bit of drag from network. Okay, let's hold on for it a little to come up. Okay, while it's still coming up, one of us also said Adeyemi Olalike is saying US 2000. I just talked about US 2000, but maybe he just joined. I remember when I was telling us that as of this morning, US 2000 is ranging. And because it is ranging, you can't do anything unless it gives you that clear direction. So you wait for it first. You have to wait for it to give you a clear direction. How? Let it break outside these two zones. Either it picks the upside or the downside, whichever direction it breaks out to. If it breaks out to the upside and closes there, go for that buy. If it comes down and breaks below, it could be a continuation of the sell bearish move. But based on what I'm seeing and based on the indications we are seeing here, we should be expecting the price of US 2000 to push up. That's my own bias anyway. It's my own bias. I'm expecting it to push up, but we could also have price. We can see what just happened on candle zero, the way it dropped now. So price could still come down and close below. You understand? And if it closes below here, then we're going to be having another zone here. So we could have price having issues around this point. But if it's able to close below this point successfully, we can have a continuation of that bearish move. But my own bias, I'm expecting price to push up on US 2000. That's that. I'm expecting price to push up on US 2000. Okay. All right. Let's move to the next instrument. Yeah, the next instrument, which was Eurocard. So let's see what Eurocard is saying now. Maybe it's back. Let's look at what Eurocard is saying. Maybe it's not fully loaded. Be able to look at it successfully. Okay. Eurocard. Okay, I think it's now on fully. Exactly. So in Eurocard too, discover that where price is currently is not somewhere you can rush to for a trade. You have to wait. There are 2 points here. This is point 1, and we have point 2. Now, currently where price is price is sloppy there because it's a demand zone. So before you can go for the bearish move, hold on for price to break below this point successfully. If it's able to break below this part successfully without any edge, closing below this point successfully, understand, then we can go for that bearish move. But if that does not happen, we could have price reversing back to the upside and pushing up continuously, you understand? So let's just hold on and see what price wants to do. Let's wait and see what price wants to do. That's my take on Euro card, you understand? That's my own take on Euro card. Okay, we still have like some 8 minutes more. So if you have any question to drop, please kindly drop it now. You have anyone you want me to look at, please kindly drop it for me so I can look at it. Then before we call it a day. Any instrument, please, let's drop it. There's an opportunity now for us to do that, please. Just drop it on the chat section to see. We still have some 6 minutes and some seconds. So yes, we still have it. Let's look at it. So yes, please send me those instruments, okay? GBP, JPY. Okay, so as of this morning, my trade just closed on its own on GBP, JPY now, and I think I made about 80-something thousand naira here. We saw it this morning. So yes, price is actually pushing back to the upside because there's a zone here. That zone is actually a strong zone. I'm going to show us now. It's a strong demand zone. Let me show it to us. Look at it here. Can you see it? A zone. Yes, it's a strong demand zone. And that's pushed price to the upside. You understand? It's a strong zone. Price got to this point. Now it's reversing back to this point. So I just feel it's a minor pullback that we are having here. I'm still expecting price to drop back down to the downside. I'm expecting price to come down. I'm expecting price to still come down. So let's wait and see what price is going to do. Is it going to break above this part or not? As far as it's unable to break above this section, it's still going to drop. Still going to drop based on what I'm saying. I'm still expecting the price to drop in this part. Yes, still going to drop. So that's my take on that. Yes, it's giving us that bearish vibes and it's still going to do that. Yes. So on my 1 hour time frame, I would advise hold on for price. As far as it does not break above this part, this will come back. Once it comes back, once it gives us that bearish move, we should pick it up. Okay. Ayo, you're saying gold again. I'm sorry. Let's look for another instrument. Why should it be gold? We have other instrument. Call another instrument. I've talked about gold. I'm not going to gold again. Please, let's look for another instrument. Gold again? No, I'm not doing gold. I just finished gold. So let's look at another instrument, please. Thank you. US oil. Okay, let's see US oil. That's WTI. Let's look at WTI. Funny enough, the US oil, WTI, also has almost the same move with the normal oil Brent. You understand? Let's look at it. US oil on it. Okay, so looking at it like this, we discover that price of oil is also pushing up. You can see it is also pushing up. So even if you want to go for that buy on oil, if you want to go for that buy on oil, wait for it to break above this part. Let's hold on for it to break above this part because that part is a strong zone. This part is a strong zone now. It's a strong resistance zone, as we're saying. Formerly, it used to be a demand point, but yeah, it's a strong resistance zone. So if price is able to break above this part successfully, then we could have that bullish move back to the upside. You understand? But as of now, it's not. So let's wait. Waiting is the key here now. Let's just hold on for this price here. As far as it's unable to break above this point, we could have price reversing back to the downside. Yes, we could have it going back down. So let's hold on for that. Okay. 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 Felix, you say I normally refer to zones and you want me to be drawing it from the start to the end. All right, Mr. Felix, please can you note something? And you're not a new trader that I knew. So you know this when we talk about support resistance, it's still the same thing as demand and supply. Demand and supply. You understand? And this is what we do every day you join. That's just the same thing I just did. And you can see the horizontal line. I've pulled it out for you. So how do you get better if you don't even try it? That's the truth. Let's try it and see. Once you try these things, you get better. I'm sorry that I'm speaking this way, but I just have to tell us the blunt truth. You understand? So this is a zone here. You've seen me drawing it. And when we talk about zones, whether demand or supply zone, they are known as what? Rejection points. And when we're talking about rejection point, to make it easy, where price got to and was unable to go further. These are the zones. That's just it. So, but you're asking me to pick the triangle and draw the zones for you and everything. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be doing that, sir. It's not part of it. But mainly, you look at the chart and recognize it. Yes, it's going to be simple. That's interesting. Okay, Phillips. US 100. Okay, let's look at US 100. That will be the last instrument I'm checking for today. Then we'll call it a day. We'll call it a day. Fine. You see, I remember I was telling us on US 30, US 100, and US 2000. I told us that these are US stocks and they are giving us the same vibe. They are ranging. US 100 is also ranging. And that's why you're saying, look at it based on the point. That's why I'm able to drag the two horizontal line. Can you see? So unless price breaks above, if it breaks above now, I would say it means it's going to buy, because a ranging market is known as the correction zone. You understand? So if it closes above this point successfully, it's going to buy. If it closes below, it's going to sell. That's just the theory, the way it is for ranging zones. You understand? So what am I advising you do? Wait for it to break out of any of the zones, either the support zone or the resistance zone. That will be all for today. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining, and I hope we have a lovely weekend ahead. You understand? Hope we have a lovely weekend ahead. And please kindly know that, yes, the market is closing today. By 10 p.m., the market is going to close. So you know you do not have any massive proceeds in your account. Please and please, you know what I mean. Manage your risk. You understand? Manage that. All right? Thank you very much. See you same time next week. Bye for now.